Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're diving into a genuinely incredible tech hero's journey. We're looking at the evolution of something called the Exocore 26 system. It's basically a blueprint of a complete personal transformation. Imagine going from a dusty, outdated 1997 computing background straight into becoming a modern, autonomous AI architect. If you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by today's tech landscape, well, stick around. This is a literal masterclass on how to leverage modern, free tools to build a highly efficient, deeply personalized workflow.
To really wrap our heads around this system, we have to anchor our narrative in this raw, personal mission statement. This was pulled right from the original architecture blueprints, and you can literally feel the personal stakes. This isn't just about playing around with flashy new tech. It's about updating decades-old knowledge and orchestrating completely free and freemium AI tools to build actual independence. And the goal? Generating 3 very distinct passive income streams.
So, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the Exocore 26 reboot. Then we'll dive into Obsidian, the Knowledge Vault, followed by Tasker and autonomous routing. After that, we'll look at getting Qwen AI running on Termex, and we'll wrap up with the passive income engine. Let's get right into demystifying this workflow.
Starting with Section 1, the Exocore 26 reboot. Let's look at the overarching vision behind this whole digital transformation.
Every digital empire has to start somewhere, right? And this one actually started with a humble, frankly kind of messy MS Paint diagram. Now, it might not sound like a whole lot, but this early blueprint was envisioning a massive routing ecosystem spanning across Termux, Node.js, and Android. And the crazy part? It was all built around the hardware limits of an older Dell laptop and a basic Samsung phone. It's the raw starting point of everything we're about to see.
And here is how that raw idea actually gained structure. By running a senior-level architectural analysis with Claude, absolutely every single free and freemium app was methodically mapped out to a specific Exocore 26 business pillar. So, for example, Claude was specifically designated for technical mastery and coding, Perplexity took on intelligence gathering, and Canva was slotted in for YouTube strategy. Nothing here is random. Every tool has a very precise job in the factory.
Moving into Section 2, Obsidian, the Knowledge Vault. This is basically the system's brain.
Working closely with Perplexity as an AI mentor, a brilliantly simple 5-part pipeline was established. You capture a raw brain dump, you let AI refine it and clean it up, then you route it to the right location, store it or act on it, and finally create. If you've ever felt like your notes are just a black hole where good ideas go to die, this is the fix. Think of Obsidian as the raw materials warehouse in our factory. The ideas might enter messy, but they definitely don't stay that way.
The folder structure is incredibly simple. You've got 00 inbox, 10 research, 20 ideas, 30 projects, and 40 outputs. That is literally it. The AI mentor really stressed that the biggest win here is consistency, not complexity. By sticking to this ultra-minimalist layout, your second brain never gets cluttered, and that frees you up to actually focus on building rather than endlessly organizing your files.
So the crucial point in this knowledge architecture is the absolute separation of concerns. Telegram is strictly for task execution. It essentially handles the what to do. Obsidian, on the flip side, is the permanent knowledge record. It handles the what to know. This is a brilliant division because it prevents working memory overload. It guarantees that your actionable, day-to-day tasks don't just get buried and lost in a massive sea of research notes.
Section 3, Tasker and Autonomous Routing. We're looking at the nervous system now.
All right, this is where the magic really happens. On one side, we have our thinking tools, the AI agents like Claude and ChatGPT. On the other side, we've got the doing execution agents, Termux and Telegram. And the glue holding it all together? Tasker. This setup represents the exact moment an Android device stops just being a regular phone and completely transforms into a centralized command center for autonomous task routing.
Now, building all of this definitely wasn't an overnight process. Claude actually suggested a really meticulous 4-week implementation roadmap. Week 1 laid down the Termux foundation. Week 2 integrated Tasker and Android widgets. Week 3 brought in voice automation via Whisper Flow, which allowed for totally hands-free task capture. And finally, Week 4 was entirely about optimizing prompt logic. This phased approach, it's absolutely key. It turns a standard mobile device into a fully autonomous AI router without the total burnout that usually comes with massive tech projects.
On to Section 4, Qwen AI on Termux. This is the core dispatcher.
So Qwen AI is actually powered by the Qwen 2.5 0.5 billion parameter model. What that means in plain English is that it's incredibly lightweight and it runs entirely locally right on the device. No internet connection required whatsoever. The granularity of its add command schema is wild. It parses commands by project dependencies, the required AI tools, and remarkably, even the user's cognitive energy level. It's just an incredibly rich, detailed way to capture your work.
And all that highly granular data feeds directly into what's called the dynamic engine. This is the back-end logic running via Node.js that essentially acts as the ultimate factory format. Because it knows the specific energy requirements of any given task, the dynamic engine intelligently slots highly demanding deep work, like coding, into peak morning hours. Meanwhile, it automatically saves the low-energy content review tasks for the afternoon slump. Pretty brilliant, right?
To keep that digital foreman perfectly organized, Qwen AI strictly tracks tasks through 6 defined phases: idea, research, design, build, test, and publish. This really is a game changer. The dispatcher ensures a build task is never accidentally scheduled on your timetable while the project is still stuck back in the design phase. It just enforces this structural discipline entirely automatically.
But you know, a system is only good if you actually stick to it, right? I really love this UX insight from the architectural planning. By allowing partial entries and then gently prompting the user for any missing info via a simple Telegram chat, the system keeps the friction of capturing an idea near absolute zero. If a tool's too rigid, you just stop using it. Qwen AI is fundamentally designed to adapt to the human, not the other way around.
Finally, Section 5, the passive income engine. Time to generate some outputs.
This is the final step of the pipeline. Once your ideas are captured, refined by AI, and perfectly scheduled by Qwen AI, they get pumped directly into the production stack. Tools like VN, CapCut, and YouTube Studio are basically the heavy machinery here. They take raw text and code and forge them into polished video tutorials and shorts for the Seaside channel.
And all of this infrastructure serves exactly one core objective: building 3 focused passive income streams. Everything that gets routed through Exocore 26 is explicitly designed to output either Android apps, digital ebooks, or YouTube production. It basically takes the wild, scatter potential of AI and funnels it straight into 3 distinct, highly monetizable buckets.
Think back to that messy MS Paint diagram we talked about at the very beginning, and contrast it with the beautifully polished, comprehensive ecosystem we've ended up with. This finalized architecture perfectly encapsulates an absolutely incredible personal and technical transformation. We're talking about going from outdated 1997 computing skills all the way to a cutting-edge, autonomous creator workflow.
The Exocore 26 system is living proof that with a structured approach, anyone can bridge the gap from outdated skills to modern execution. So if you took today's free AI tools and orchestrated them into your own personal factory, what digital empire would you architect? Something to think about as you review your own workflow. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep building.